Hey guys, it's Rebecca Oberstadt. So I wanted to do something, and I don't know if somebody else is going to do this or not, or if somebody's done it in the past, but it was something I was thinking about last night. And I did talk to Jen from Jen Loves Review about it, and she thought it was a good idea. So I have a few palettes, and I'm gonna show them all to you right now. If I can pick them all up. These are all of my eyeshadow palettes, and that is including the ones that I absolutely don't like. So these are all, I just knocked a bunch of stuff over. Okay, now that I've got them all separated by size, these are all of my eyeshadow palettes, every single one that I own. So what I was thinking, I know that the CoverGirl one probably won't be the best for this, but I wanted to take palettes that I know I own, because I don't have a whole lot. I am just a normal human being that loves makeup and likes to play with makeup. I don't know what you have in your collection. I don't know if you only have single shadows, or if you have a few palettes, if you have drugstore, if you have stuff from Ulta or Sephora or wherever. And so I was thinking what I would do is holiday looks, party looks, Christmas looks, whichever you would like to call them, so that I can show you two different looks from one palette, and I'll do one eye with one color scheme and one eye with the other. So that way you can look at, okay, I have that palette. I could recreate that look with no problem, and I'm only going to be using the colors from the actual palettes themselves. I'm not going to be adding in anything else. I'm not going to add in any extra colors. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Milani Pure Passions palette, because this has those beautiful like cranberry colored shades. It's got some bronzy shades, some gold shades. So I wanted to do a look for something like that. And I guess I do have, the names are on the back of the palette. I didn't even notice that. I just picked up the Bold Sessions palette a few weeks ago. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and I will try and tell you what colors I'm using in the palette as I'm using them. And so if you're interested in watching this, then let's go, and I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, now let's get started with a base color. I'm going to start with Truth or Bare, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to run that with a blending brush all through the crease. It's a little bit darker than my skin color, but I want just something in the crease so that it's a little bit easier to blend other colors. And because this is basically the perfect shade for my skin, it doesn't show up a whole lot, but it'll give me something to work with. Now from there, because I know I'm going to be using a shimmer on the lid, I'm going to be going into Heat is On, which is like this shade right here at the very bottom of the palette. And I'm like lightly tapping into that color because it is dark, and I have had issues blending it where you put it down and it takes a minute to blend out and to get it to look how I want it. And some of these shadows are super soft. I'm really wanting to like deepen that crease and the outer V part of my eye. I got mascara falling on my face. Okay, now that I've got that blended out, I'm going to touch back into that first shade and then this one and run that along my lash line and kind of connect that outer area. And if you're like me, you'll stab yourself in the eye at least 2 or 3 times with your brush. Okay, now that that's on, the simplest part of this look is putting a shimmer on. And okay, this is a Luxie 245. This is a small shader brush. I'm literally going to get some water. You can use like setting spray or lotion or whichever you prefer to get your brush wet, but I do know that the foiled shades in here go on a lot better if the brush is damp. So because I've been using like warmer colors, I'm going to go in with the center shade, which is like a bronze. That is called Sunsets by the Beach. So I'm going to pick that up on my brush. And pack that literally all over my lid. Now I'm going to take that brush and dip it like on the tip into that color, and I'm going to run that as close to my lash line as possible. Every time I touch anywhere near my lashes, I get mascara on my face. That's what you see me wiping away is mascara. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger and the Afterglow shade, which is this very first shade, which feels wet, and I'm going to press it right in the center of my eyelid. So wherever your iris is, or straight up in the center of your eye, just go boop. And then I'm going to tap up here, and then right in the inner corner. And I'm just pressing. And then I'm going to take my middle finger and just kind of smooth out that top, because I don't want like flakes, gold flakes on the, I want it to be present on the brow bone, but I don't want it to be like, hi, hello. And I'm just using my finger to blend out the center and knock some glitter out of my lashes. And now I've got a sparkly face. If you want to avoid getting color down here, do your base after. And then I'm just going to go back over, lightly touch into the second shade we used, and just go back over that crease to make sure that we don't lose any of that darker color. So technically we've used 4 eyeshadows. What do you guys think? Now you can finish off with liner. If you wear eyeliner, if you wear lashes, you can wear that. I'm gonna try and use the Ciate London Fierce Flicks. Be careful opening this, because every time I open it, black ink shoots out of the lid and gets everywhere. Now you could leave it like that, and I do have a mole on my eye right there, a skin tag, or you can do a wing. And wings on me always look weird because my eyes are not, they're not like straight across and they don't go up, they're kind of a little bit downturned. So looking straight ahead, I look where the corner of my eye is, I go out and a little up and put a dot. And it doesn't want to show up. There we go. Now comes the fun part. That is a little high, but I think I'm gonna go below that line. But as you see, just for me trying to draw it, it looks like a swoop. So I have to come all the way down here. And winged eyeliner on hooded eyelids, that I think they're like the biggest pain. Maybe I will go up that high. And this pen feels like it's drying out. Now I do have a little bloop right there. I could fill it in. I'll try and do that. It's where I messed up. But that wing's a little bold. And then if you want to, you can, again, I don't think this liner is cooking with gas. And then if you want to follow up with a black eyeliner, I don't usually use dark colors in my waterline because it closes my eyes, and I have very closed set eyes, so I never carry dark colors all the way in. And this is the little 6 kit liner from Tarte. It's just a little sample size. And if you're like me and you drew on your face, you just pick up a little bit more of that color that's shimmery. And you pop it back on. So there's one eye finished with a massive wing. And if you don't want like the color out here, you could always clean it up with a washcloth, or actually I have a washcloth right here. Try and get close enough to it without taking off the wing. But of course you could do this before you do your wing. Now my face is red. So that's look number 1. Now for look number 2, instead of using like brown shades, I'm going to try and go more red. So I'm going to go in with that center shade, Totally Fawn of You, which is this one here. And be careful tapping your brush in it. These are very like delicate shadows. And because I didn't want to tap all that off, I'm just lightly tapping it. And then again, I'm going to run it under my lash line with whatever's left over on the brush. Pick up some of that powder and use that. And instead of like winging it out, I'm kind of like keeping it circular. Okay, now I'm going to take the same Luxie brush, use my little J-Cat color switch thing to take off the extra color. I'm going to get it re-damp. And I usually squeeze it. If there's water that comes up on top of my fingers, then I usually take that stuff off. I want it damp, not soaking. Okay, now I'm going to go into Biggest Flirt, which is this one right here, which is a pretty cranberry shade, almost matches the color of the shirt that I'm wearing. Which it was like 50 degrees when I got dressed about an hour or 2 ago, and now that I've been wearing it for an hour, I'm hot. And I'm going to apply this all over my lid like I did the other side. So now for the fun part. I'm going to take my old 25-year-old Mary Kay brush, and I'm going to pick up Pink Sand, which is the shade in the center, which it's very crumbly. I'm going to like stipple it on my eyebrow area. And yes, expect this stuff to fall in your face, and then once you've got it like put where you want it, then swipe your brush over it. And if you want to put it up here to make your entire eyebrow area look lifted and lit up, then do that. I'm going to go on back with a little bit more and put it here in the corner. I'm going to carry it under the front of my lash line. And just for S&Gs, I'm going to take it and just kind of like press it over this first part of my eye. Just to lighten it up a little bit. I don't know what's worse, having the eyeshadow fall on your face or mascara like fleck off your eyeshadow or your eyelashes. And then that's all I'm going to do. So if you want to do, so this would be look 2. If you want to dress it up, take like an angled brush, and I'm going to go into The Heat Is On, which is the shade down here, which is like a rich like espresso brown color, and then run that right, help if the brush is facing the right direction, right under your lashes. and I went up to where that lighter color was and then just kind of stopped. And then if you don't want that harsh line, just run your brush over it, stab yourself in the eye about 20 times. So the color is still there, but it's not as bold as it was. And then I used a mascara that I absolutely detest, and it's like flaking off bad. And then I'm gonna run some fresh mascara over that on both sides. I got glitter in my lashes over here. And it never fails. I get mascara on my eye all the time. That's why I usually clean off the tip of the mascara wand better. Again, if you don't want shimmer or whatever falling down on the tops of your cheeks, do your eyes first. Still not happy with that wing, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so this is, let me zoom you back out. This is the finished look for the 2 holiday looks for the Milani Pure Passions. What I'll do is I'll take some pictures and I will include them in at the very end of this so that you can see what it looks like without being on video, because sometimes people say that, oh, that doesn't look the same on me, or the colors are different. Well, remember, there's a couple of reasons why the colors from the palette, if you use the same colors and you do a look, the reason why it won't look the same on everybody is because our eyes are all shaped differently. Like, I have very close set eyes. So keep that in mind. Eye shapes are all different. If you have wide set eyes, feel free to put darker shades on the inside, because what that does is it closes the gap. So putting darker colors on the outside are going to draw your eyes apart if you use a light on the inside. And you really have to work with your eye shape. So keep that in mind when recreating somebody's makeup look. Try and work the colors that are best suited for your eye shape. You can use the exact same colors and come up with a very similar look. But remember, if you're working with the same palettes and the same colors that I did today, try and remember your own eye shape. And if you have questions, or if you want to know like the difference between, you know, what kind of eyes that you have, send me a message on Instagram at osp.fl or on Twitter at osp_fl, and send me a picture with a message, and I will be more than happy to reply back and let you know what kind of eye shape you have, whether it's hooded or deep set or protruding or things like that. I know there's a ton of YouTube videos on it, but some of those videos are a little vague, so it's kind of hard to determine what kind of eyes you have. You can also ask your ophthalmologist or optometrist. They will always be able to tell you. So hopefully you enjoyed this look with the Milani Pure Passions palette. I will be doing 2 looks for every palette I own, so I've got several more to go. Just looking, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total. So I also have a new palette coming in, but like this one here, I wouldn't really think is like, I always forget there's a sponge thing in here. This isn't really like a Christmas colored theme. I wouldn't, like, I could probably do like a New Year's look with this blackish silver, but I wouldn't expect to be using this palette for a holiday look. Maybe the green out of it and the black. I'll have to see what I can do playing with this. And then of course the 2 underwhelming palettes that I have for Maybelline, I'll have to see what I can do with coming up with looks for those, because the color payoff on those isn't really that great. But I want to be able to show a wide range of different looks with the different palettes, so that way you have some options for your events that you're going to in this month of December. So I will see you guys in another video. Hopefully you have a great day or night wherever you are. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friends. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. And always leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, I will see you guys later. Bye.